Boom is correct. Welcome, everyone. This is Tom here, and welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday on August 6th of 2025. Let's say hello to everyone. Ronald, how you doing? Welcome. Glad to see you in here. Dwight Curley's here. Hey, Dwight. Welcome. John from Schuylkill River Valley's here. Hey, John. Welcome. And Randall Ellison's here. Welcome, Randall. How's everybody doing tonight? It's hectic, crazy weather we've been having off and on with the heat and the coolness and everything. Everybody's, it's a little cool tonight here, which is good. That's great, Randall. Ronald. So, how's everybody doing weather-wise where you are? Hope it's good. It was a little cloudy here in New Jersey the last 2 days, but no rain, which is good. We had enough rain for a while. And I finally got all my grass cut. It took me 5 hours to cut the backyard, and then a little over an hour to do the front yard. Still working on my weed whacker. I haven't gotten that working yet. Yeah, that's right, John. Cloudy and a little cool. But nice. Not in Montreal, no rain for a month. Yeah. Wow. Hey, Papa John, welcome. Glad you can make it in here tonight. Yeah, so, yeah, like it took me 2 days to get my grass cut. It was pretty high. And with the weather the way it is, it's raining, and then you can't cut it in the rain. And then the next day it doesn't rain, but it's still soaking wet. You can't cut it when it's wet, all that kind of stuff. So finally got to it. And got the backyard cut. Then I had to take a couple breaks to because it was really hot that day. It was cut, so I took a couple water breaks and rested in the house with air conditioning running, stuff like that. Grass here's yellow. Now, mine's green. I don't know how it stays green, but it's green. I don't do nothing to it. It just stays green. The wood, the rain, and everything keeps it green, I guess. So then the next day, I cut the front, and that went a lot easier than the back. The back gets really high for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm going to try and do it every week so it's not so high. But then it rains all the time, so you can't do it. So whenever it doesn't rain, that's when I cut the grass. But anyway, that's what I was doing outside. That took me 2 days to get that cut and everything. So I don't know if any of you noticed anything new on this here screen. I have 2 cameras now. Now I have a total of 8 cameras up here. And they came about because of the subway system. And what had happened was my last 2 streams, I was telling you about the light automation and stuff that I have on my lab. The devices weren't getting back on the Wi-Fi network for some reason, and don't know what happened to those devices and stuff. So those devices, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was using a program on the laptop that's in my train room for running the trains, where I have my JMRI running on it. That ran a program called Home Assistant. And Home Assistant allows you to define smart plugs that are designed to work on Home Assistant, and then through MQTT protocol to JMRI, then in the JMRI lights table, you can turn on and off the lights automatically at certain times. And that was working for a long time. I had that set up. Heath from Humanity Junction, he was doing something similar. He gave me a little assistance when I first started out and stuff. And it took me a while to get the right devices. And I was using these brand name called CAF, KAUF, and the model number was a PLF12. And it's a smart plug. And you can't, so that was, they were working, and then all of a sudden it just stopped working. And some of them were working and some of them weren't. And then I looked on my app on my phone for the network equipment that I have, and the devices were not on, but then they were on, and it was weird. I don't know why they weren't coming on or off. And on the Home Assistant, you can go and browse the Home Assistant page on your computer, and you'll see the devices, and then you can click on them, and then they present themselves, and then you can turn them on or off through the browser. And some of them, hello, Barbara, welcome. And so they weren't online on Home Assistant, but I can go over to them and hit the button and manually turn them on. So I said, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to deal with this all the time. So, hey, Grandpa Rails, welcome. So I then decided to change my philosophy on how I'm going to automate my lights and thunder and lightning, the billboards, the farm scene, the refinery, all that stuff. So what I decided to do was from Amazon has smart plugs. And these are smart plugs that work with Alexa. And that's what I was going to do, because I have other smart plugs from Wemo and Belkin, another brand. I forget the name of those. And they're plugged into outlets in my house. And like the Christmas lights, when I put them up, I plug them in, and then they go on and off certain times of the day. And that's where I got the idea from. I said, oh, I can put smart plugs in place of the CAF PF12s that I had. I had 6 of those around the layout. So I ordered 6 smart plugs from Amazon. They came in, and I was excited to get this project out of the way. And I plugged in the first one, and you go into the Alexa app and you get a new device, and it was coming up asking for a Wi-Fi SSID, and then enter the password. I entered the password, and it keep on coming back to the password over and over and over again. So I got on the phone with Amazon. I was on the phone with them for a couple of hours. We were troubleshooting the devices. I ordered 6 of them. All 6 of them failed. So I sent them back in an exchange for 6 more. So the 6 more came the next day. And the first one I plugged in to a power. You plug them into power, and then you go into the Alexa app, and then you got to set them up. Well, these reacted differently. These automatically connected to the Alexa, and then you just had to go in and rename it and make it what you wanted. Then I set up some routines in the Alexa app to turn it on and off. And then I set 2 more routines for the time that I wanted to go on and the time I wanted to go off. And I set up all 6 of them, put them on a layout. Hey, Mystic, welcome. How you doing, John? And so I got them all set up, and now they're all working. And this way, in the past, with the Home Assistant software on the laptop, and then the laptop would have to restart because of an update. Well, that would cause those CAF PF12s to go foobar. In other words, they would be clicking on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off all the time. Then I had to get another one to replace it, and then I try to stop the updates, and it goes on and on. This way, it's independent of that laptop. That laptop can reboot itself a million times. It doesn't matter. And I can now also, I can turn on the uh, lights and refineries and the subway lights and all that stuff at whim. I can just tell the Alexa app, Alexa, to say subway lights on, and it'll turn them on. So I can have them on during the daytime. Say I wanted to test some lights or something that I just added, I can do that now. The billboards, if I plug in some new billboards or whatever, I can turn billboards on and off, and that is a lot better than going through the Home Assistant. So when I was doing all that with those devices with the Home Assistant, I have a box in my closet there that had a whole bunch of cameras that I used to use for around my layout. And I saying, hey, I want to put 2 more cameras up, one in each corner of the subway system. That'll help show off the graffiti on the walls and stuff like that. And I brought them on, and they came online. A couple of them didn't, some of them did. And then I said, but how am I going to get them to display on my channel when I present the camera? So then I said, okay, these cameras you see on the screen here are a brand name SV3C. That's that's these cameras. Well, these 2 down here are SV3Cs, and they're Wi-Fi cameras because they're a little bit smaller. Because I wanted to put them inside the tunnel and in the corner, and so the train, I didn't want to get a bigger one, and but they're PTEZ and stuff like that. So if we bring up this camera here that you see is showing the tunnel going down to that's 47th and 50th Street station right there. And the 2 trains are sitting on a track there, waiting to go. So then we go to this camera here, and this is the track that comes from 47th Street, and then this goes down this tunnel, which is all under construction right now. I tore down all the walls on the backside today because we're going to put graffiti on them. So that's what we're working on. Barbara's doing all the painting of the graffiti. Hello, Tammy and Ray, welcome. I ordered decals from Blair Line. They shipped them out. They'll be here by Saturday. So we'll be using some decals and paint and stuff like that on the panels. Barbara took a whole bunch of panels home with her after this weekend. She was doing some painting here. and then she's working on them at home, so we can get a lot more done that way. So that's that camera. And then if we go to this camera, that's the hobos there. You've seen that before. And then that camera takes us down to 34th Street station. And these LEDs are hanging here because I don't have the corner pieces yet. That's what she's painting now. So when she comes over this weekend, we'll have all the corner pieces, and we'll have 3 sides done, and then the whole one side. That'll take a day or two to get them all painted and stuff like that. So that's that camera. That shows you that. I got all the fans working in there. If we close that out, and then we go to this camera here, then that comes down from there. Oh, I showed you this already. I don't know which camera I showed you, which one I didn't. But this is going to 42nd Street. That's 42nd Street station right there. So from 34th to 42nd, and then the next station is 47th and 50th Street. And then this one up here, oh, I showed you that one. Yeah, I showed you that one. And then this one here. So they're the new 2 cameras I got. How many trains run on the subway system? Ronald, 2 trains that run on the subway system. 2 MTA trains that go in there. That's all. That's the only subway cars I have. So, hey, Ray Burleson, welcome. So that's what led up to getting the 2 new cameras, because I couldn't figure out how to present the other Wi-Fi cameras. I couldn't browse them, and so I just said, this way I can put those SV3C cameras on this IP camera software and present them this way. So this makes it easier. So for those, this is the way I get more than 1 camera up on StreamYard. That, like, the StreamYard free version only allows you 1 camera, and the paid version only allows you 2 cameras. Well, I want to see all my end in 1 screen, and I can always make one bigger than the other to see them. And I have this software on my desktop in my office where I'm talking to you from today, and out in the train room, the laptop out there, I have the same software, and it's on the cameras are up on a big screen above the laptop, so I can see what's going on when I'm working in the train room and stuff like that. So, yeah, with the subway system panels, we got a lot of them done, but there's still 2 sides that need to be finished, and we're working on that. Barbara's doing all the painting. She likes to draw, and then she fills in after she draws the artwork. Then she paints it in with different colors and stuff, and they really came out really good. So I thought of my railroad name, and that's what she's gonna put on 1 panel. And I don't know which. Maybe I'll put it in a spot where the camera sees it really good. So they're going to run the train with a camera on it, and then we'll see how it looks going through the tunnels once all the tunnel pieces are up. So probably another week, then the subway trains will be running for sure. Thanks a lot, John. Yeah, a lot of work going into this, I'll tell you. So I got some homeless people that we have to paint yet, and they'll be going up there. I don't know where I'm going to make that scene, but somewhere up there. And this is how uh, you'll see homeless people, maybe on the train station platforms, maybe. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. I got to figure that out. But that's another scene that's coming. So, um, and then this monkeying around on my desk. Let me make myself bigger. On my desk, I have this track here. Always had it here, but I said, I want to have the power to this track because sometimes I might want to test an engine on here because I use this tool here. This is the KD coupler alignment tool. And that's what I do. I put all the cars in here and then I align them up with the couplers to make sure that the couplers are aligned and stuff like that. Well, today I 3D printed two yellow bumpers, one here, one down this end, added yellow lights, red lights to them, and I plugged in, I 3D printed a power cab holder, so I mounted it on this panel here, that way I can put the power cab there and have the track have power. But then all of a sudden, when I plug it into this PCP board, I get no power. The red light is supposed to come on, and it's not coming on. So I unplugged the power adapter, unplugged the cable from the power cord. Nothing. Then I thought I had a bad cable, but I took this out to my workbench in the train room, plugged this into its PCB board, and everything came up. I ran an engine on there, everything worked. So wasn't the cable, wasn't the power cap, it's the board. So I ordered a new board on eBay today, and it was shipped out. It's just a matter. They're in New Jersey, so I should have it in a couple of days. Because I ordered the other day a USB interface board, an NCE USB interface board, so that I can plug that into this and then connect it to my computer, and then I can have a program track here. So this can be a program track and a test track. So that's what's coming. Then I can put an engine on here and program it because that's what's will make it easier for me. Because sometimes my workbench gets full of, well, right now it's all full of tunnel parts for the subway system, and it's hard to work with an engine there when you're working, when you have tunnel parts all over the desktop. So it's a good sized table. It's 5 feet wide by 2.5 feet deep or something like that. And it's full of tunnel parts, brackets, tunnel halves, tunnels, pieces of tunnel tops that I cut. And I save all the parts. You never know when you might need a small piece somewhere or whatever. So um, that's so now I can use this to program an engine or whatever. So that leads me into the next thing that I wanted to talk about was so this monkeying around today. I was going to set up DDE, dynamic digital exhaust, in the soundtracks decoders. You can set that up in your engine, and then you have that added realism when the engine is working harder. The prime mover and everything moves in, makes the sounds that you would expect to see in a real engine. So I went to do the first engine, and the values weren't setting up. There's 3 CVs involved in setting up DDE on a soundtrack decoder. It's CV 2.503, 2.504, and 2.512. They're the 3 CVs. Hey, George, how you doing? Welcome. So I set, what you do is in CV 2.503, first you have to go to CV 32 and set that to a value of 2. So you can get to the 2 dot numbers in the soundtrack decoder. Okay. And so I set CV 32 to a 2. Then I enter CV 503. Now I'm in 2.503. So it worked really good. And you have to set that to a value of 255. Now, when you set CV 503 to a value of 255, you then put the engine on your track, your mainline track, and you run it at speed step 1 for a distance. Hey, Grandpa Rails, welcome. But I don't know how long it has to run. And I only have 5 feet of track on the table. So it has to run a while. So I don't have that much room on my layout. See, you have to run these tests on level and straight track. So then I called up Soundtracks. Thank you, JD. Keep up with it. Hit that like button, people. Doesn't cost you nothing. And I talked to the new guy there, Tom, and he told me about this thing. I never heard of it before. It's from Bachman. They make an easy rider, ball bearing rollers. And he sent me a link for a Yankee Dobbler, and it was like $80 for these 4. You get 4 in a pack, 1 for each wheel on a train. And what you do is you take those easy riders and you put them on the track, and they have power. Then you put your engine on top of those bearings and the wheels, and then the wheels, you can run your engine at speed step 128 all the way up to 128 or speed or whatever you wanted to run it at, and it'll run it as if it was running around the track. So you just find, like, this here is a level desk, so I can put them here, run them, set the CVs, because what was happening is it would change the CV from 255 to 0. It should be set to a certain value if it calculated it properly. So those are coming. I ordered, like I said, the Yankee Dobbler had it for $80. So I went to Amazon. I did a search for the part, and Amazon came up, and they had it. And it was only $60. So I said, I'll get it for $60 versus $80 plus shipping and stuff like that. Amazon shipped it free. So when I paid for it, I had forgotten I had a credit on my Amazon account, and they applied that credit to the bill. So I only had to pay $18 for an $80 part. So that wasn't too bad. So that'll be coming on Friday. It's a 2-day shipment thing. So that's coming Friday. So that'll be good. Then I can just put the engines on here. And then with CV 2.504, you set that to a value of 255. and you run that at speed step 20 or to 40, a value of how fast you want to go. Then that gets the high end of the engine running. And the first 503, you run at speed step 1, that gets the low end. So they have two numbers there. And then CD 2.5.12, you start out with a value of 16, and then you see how it runs. You can just hold the engine, and you'll hear the difference in the engine. So, hey Joe Rader, welcome. So, so that's another project that I'm working on. I'm going to do all my engines. So when that part comes on Friday, I'll test it out with a couple of the other engines I have. Then I'll start taking the engines off the track and setting them up with the DDE, and go from there with the DAT. So I told you about the light organization, which I switched to the Amazon Plus part, right? And that all works. They come on, they go off. It works really great. Talking about the subway panels, the sound modules. I got it finally came. The new power module. The first one, the one I got from when I ordered the second one, it didn't power anything. And I got the second. They finally sent me another one, shipped it out, and it came 2 days earlier than when they thought they were going to be here. And I took all the wires off of the terminal block that I had up there. I started plugging them into the power module, turned it on, and nothing came on. I go, what the heck's going on here? So I went back to basics. I said, okay, let me take all the wires out, and I'm just going to plug in the 2 wires from the sound module, because that's where it gets to the power module. That's how it gets the power. So I plugged in 2 wires from the sound module, turned it on, the power module on, and lo and behold, the sound module came on. Came out from under the layout, back and front, turned the toggle switch to turn the background noise on, background noise came on. Said, okay. I'm just wondering, hey Bob, welcome. Glad to see you in here. So I'm just wondering if the power module didn't have any instructions on how to hook the wires or anything like that. It said check the wires. So just wondering, and there's no polarity there. It doesn't matter which wire you put on which screw. It's just a whole bunch of screws across there, and you connect to it. Hey, Steve 87, welcome. So I then decided to take each module, its 2 wires, and plug them in, and then it all worked. So I hooked it up to underneath the layout. Wires got all tucked up, and it now works. And then I plugged it into the system, because I had an extension cord plugged in to make sure it was working and everything. So it's all good, and now that's working. So when the passenger trains go around, or the subway trains go around, they'll have their arriving announcements and departing announcements, and it'll interrupt the background noise automatically now. So that's all working, and I can't wait to get the trains running, and it'll make it more realistic and stuff like that. So that's what's the sounds of the subway system, the sound system power module, which was really good. So, and that worked out really well. So I don't know if anybody in here is close by, but I'm going to a train show this weekend in Edison, New Jersey. It's the Greenberg Great Train and Toy Show in Edison, New Jersey, this Saturday and Sunday. So anybody in the area, stop in and say hello. I'll be there. Barbara's coming with me, so we can meet and say hello. That'd be good. So that's the train show that I'm planning to go to. Let's see what else I want to talk to you about tonight. Oh, let me bring this guy up again. There we go. That's a different view. On here, let's see, go to my Helix. Okay. I put out back east for 2 weeks. So I'll be on Long Island. That's okay, Steve. I showed you my 14 new chemical tank cars. Then the next day, 4 more came in. That's these 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's an engine there, and there's 4 tank cars on it that I just wanted to test running it up the Helix. Make sure that I don't get any derailments on the wheels and everything. Because these were on eBay, and I found kind of close to Heath. Well, Heath is in Manhattan. He's not too far away from there, Mystic. But so these were all on eBay. Didn't pay a lot of money for them, and most of them had Katie couplers on them. Some had some weird kind of wheels on it, so I had to change the wheels on some of them. Put Katie couplers on them. Thanks, Floyd. I mean, George. And they're all ready to go onto the train. So there's 22 tank cars there that I got to add to the train. I don't know if I'm going to put all 22 on. I'm not sure how many I got on the train now. Some of them will go into the pumping stations that I have set up and stuff like that. So thanks, John. So that's that. And if I close that down, on this camera here, I wanted to show you guys something. I can rotate this camera. I think this is the one. There you go. Okay. That's a view that nobody's seen before. I've never seen it before either. But this is the bridge. This is the bridge right here that goes this is a bridge that goes to the Helix from the subway system. That's one. That's a short bridge. So looking at this, I then decided I'm going to put the same tunnel pieces like I have here inside here. I'll make it a tunnel. So that's something else. But I don't need to do that to get the subway system running. That's something that looks, thanks, JD. That's something that I can do to later on put across the bridge. So um, now I'm going to move it back to where it's supposed to show. There we go. So let me minimize this. Yeah, so that's, the cameras are really helpful. Shows you things you can't see. Then you can see things for improvement and stuff. Thanks, Ronald. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna make myself bigger again. Okay, guys. Anybody out here know anything about propane tanks? I got this thing. Came the other day. And I don't know if I can get it in the whole screen. And it has a lever here and a valve here. What's the length of the subway line? Well, the room is 10 by 12. So 12 feet on two sides and 10 feet on two sides. So that's 42 feet all the way around. So this here, you're going to use that to shape the phone. No, this here is to kill weeds. Okay, in there, see, it comes out and it flame comes out of here and it burns the weeds up. So I went to Home Depot after I got this, and I went to Home Depot to get a propane tank, and I brought it home, connected this up to the propane tank because it has a hose. It has a hose, two hose clamps. You put that on here. You put the clamp on there. Then this end goes into the tank. Well, wasn't getting no gas. I was going like this. Couldn't smell nothing. Normally, when I turn on my gas grill outside, I can hear the gas coming out. And then I hit the igniter, and then boom, it lights the gas. So this here, so I decided today to take this end off. I have one of those lighters that you click, and then that'll ignite it. But it was, I couldn't get it to ignite at all. I didn't hear nothing. I could smell no gas, nothing. So I took the handle part off of the hose, and this end was connected to the tank. And then I opened up the valve on the tank, thinking that I would get gas coming out of this hose. Nada, nothing. I said, what in the heck is going on? Because propane is odorless. Well, okay, Bob, but if it's odorless, you should still hear it. And I just took my igniter lighter and lit this, and nothing lit. Nothing's coming out of that tank. And I then said, let me take the whole hose off, and I'm going to test. It got too late. I couldn't mess around with it anymore. So I was getting ready for the show. Hey, Monsville, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. So I said, I don't know what's going on. Now I have the tank sitting behind me. Thing is heavy, so it's not like it's empty. So what's screwed into this valve? This is the valve for the propane tank, right? And this is the part that came with the handle. And so what I did was I screwed this back on, and then I was going to turn this valve and see if it comes out of this fitting. Because what I did the other day to test something was I added water. I had that other valve connected to here, and then this end was connected to the handle. And then I used the funnel and put water in the line, and I opened up the valve on here. I opened it all the way up. Nothing came out, no water came out. But then I went like this with the lever, and then the water started pouring out, streamed out real nice. So I know there's no blockage. Have you looked at a YouTube video on the topic, Tom? No. Okay, John, enjoy your dinner. We'll catch you next time. Take care. No instructions came with this device. The box came with a couple of pictures of it with the parts on it. And from there, I was able to, figure out how to put it together. It wasn't that difficult. I mean, it only came with these parts. This was already all together. This I had to screw on to here. That came undone, and the nozzle wasn't on. So it was a couple of parts. 1711, that's good. We're getting there, JD. So I said, I don't get it. Yeah, it is. So, I mean, I saw this on a YouTube ad, and the lady was burning away, all her weeds in her garden, and just gone. And they don't come back because they get burned all the way to the root. So you know how you pull weeds, but you don't pull the whole weed. You don't when you pull weeds, you don't pull the whole weed out. The root is still in the ground, and then boom. You need a special hose to connect the gun to the tank. Yeah, it has, Ronald. It has a. I think this is on two. Let me see if I can get it off. I'll show you. Yeah, I can get it off. Okay. This here part, there's threads on there. Okay. This goes into the valve on the tank. Okay. You can see that. Okay. See the threads? And this here is this part. The hose goes onto here, like so. Then that gets screwed into the tank valve, and the other end is on the handle. So this is all one part. When you put this on the hose, then you use the hose clamps and you screw that on, and then that keeps it tight so it doesn't come off. And this here connects to inside the tank. It looks like the gas should come out and go through that hole. So I don't know. It's just a strange attachment that I was disappointed that the gas wouldn't come out. Because if the gas would have came out, I would have probably had all my weeds done. So it's a strange thing that it just doesn't work, and I don't get it. I mean, I was going to connect this tank yeah, I was watching some videos on a gas not coming out. I did that kind of search, and I saw some guy said to use soap to put over the fittings to see if you got a leak. But if I got a leak, then this tank would be empty, because I've had this tank for a week now. And if there was a leak, it should have emptied out. It should have been lighter. This is as heavy as it was when I got it. So there's no leak coming out of there. So is it to connect gas bottle attachment? Yes. So look at your barbecue fittings for your tank and see if they are different. I did do that, Steve. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to hook this tank up to my barbecue and see if it ignites and I can cook something. The only difference with the barbecue connector is that's an outside thread. See, thing's heavy. See, there's threads on the outside of this valve, right? And there's threads on the inside of this valve, okay? The barbecue has a handheld thing where you can thread down onto the propane tanks. So that'll go over to the outside part. But it does have a little fitting inside there where it goes inside there. There's a smaller hole inside here. And that's where the thing goes. So this one here goes to the inside threads. So it's strange, but I'm going to hook this up to my barbecue tomorrow and see. The barbecue fittings in Australia are inside threads only. Yeah, see, there's threads on the inside here and on the outside. So, like all the barbecues here go to the outside threads that I've seen. And this fitting here, they should have made it like the barbecue fitting, where you just go on the outside. But to get this on, you have to go the opposite direction. You think you're tightening things. It's weird. It's counterclockwise. Yeah, clockwise tightens, counterclockwise loosens most screws, right? Well, this is the opposite. So, I don't know why they do things strange like that. But, so that's what I've been fighting with. for the past week trying, and I took the tank back to Home Depot and said, "Hey, I can't get any gas out of this tank." So I brought this with me. I brought my igniter with me. And I said, "I'm not leaving until I get one that works." Well, I couldn't even get this thing threaded into there. You know, you're at the store, you want to get it done fast. I couldn't get it threaded in. When I got home, I got it threaded on, and I didn't get no gas. So I would have known, but I said, I'll figure it out. So that's what I got to figure out, because I can see through the fittings. So there's no blockage. There's no packing material that got into these fittings. Like, I can look through that. I can see my screen, and that's what connects into the tank. And it's weird how it doesn't work. So it's strange, but I'll figure it out eventually. But thanks for all the help anyway, guys. I put a video up about my Viper and stuff, and there's the A1. That's the A1 behind me, right here. And it printed that really well with the Bamboo Labs filament. And I tried to put on another brand filament on this guy today, and it wouldn't print at all. The model didn't come out right. So I ordered some Bamboo Lab filament, and see that. If the gas is not coming out with the adapter in place and no hose, the adapter may be wrong one or defective. YouTube videos I saw suggest laying it with the gas barely open. Okay, to be careful. All right, so what I'll do, so if the tank works on the barbecue, then you'll know the hose fitting is not engaging the tube, right? Yeah, the adapter is reverse threaded. Yeah, that's correct. Hello, James. Welcome. How you feeling? Feeling any better? So that's what I'm planning to do. Some more testing. Looks like the wrong adapter to me. Well, that could be, but this is what I bought. This is how it came. These threads are backwards to screw that onto that. And we'll have to see. Very good, James. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I just finished my meds for when I had the stroke last week. I stopped taking them on the 28th of July. And then I got an appointment with my neurologist on the 12th of August. I had an appointment for in December. That's how busy they were. But I went to my heart doctor, and she says, no, we're not having that. So she called around and got me an appointment earlier. So that was good. So I go next on the 12th, whenever that is. So we'll just see how that goes. I didn't see Heath pop in here. I don't know if he's busy tonight, getting ready for his show, or just have to drink some tea here. Yeah, so it's just strange how you order something and then it doesn't work when you get it. If you had a better knowledge of what you were using, that might be helpful. but my goodness, it's a hose, and you plug it into your propane tank, open the valves, and hit the handle, and boom. Okay, Ronald, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, I usually figure them out. Sometimes it takes longer on certain things, but that's how it goes, you know. And I don't put enough time into it. Working on other things around the house, and um, like I got a lamp. There's a lamp over my head that I have to work on. I have the kit to put the wiring and the thing to screw the light bulb in, but I haven't. And the you know, and working on that, but just too busy with all the other things that are going around. So um, yeah, so that's it. So I don't know, but like I said, that's the A1 behind me. Real nice little machine. I printed a pooper scooper for it. That's this gray box here, and it just attaches to the thing, and it stops the uh, cutted filament from flying all over the place. So you're in the train room today. That's good, James. Moving around a little bit. Um, you don't want to overdo yourself there, James. Just take your time. I know when I had my pacemaker in, I couldn't lift anything over 5 pounds. And at that time, I was a limo driver, so I couldn't drive limo because people's suitcases weigh a ton. So I couldn't do that work for 90 days because when they put the pacemaker in, they ran a wire uh, across and then back into my heart, and then so they didn't want that wire to pull out until it got totally sealed up and everything. So yeah, so I was I couldn't do things for 90 days. So that was a long time ago, but that's what I had to go through. So, and I just sat around, no, I didn't work or do anything. Just took it easy for 90 days and made it pretty good. So, um, well, if anybody has time, you can watch my playlist and help me get some watch hours. I'm trying to get up to 3,000 watch hours, and it's a slow, drawn-out process. I wish I would have known this a long time ago. And I did watch some videos on how to watch hours. Oh, speaking of videos, I noticed I've been watching a lot of other people's videos, and I just noticed one thing on their videos. I see people are putting hashtags on their titles. Putting the hashtag on the titles does not help you at all. I saw that once and I said, oh, that's what you do. So I started putting hashtags on my titles. Then I found out that that's not the proper place for hashtags. The proper place for hashtags is in your description of your video. And don't put just one hashtag, a minimum of 3. The more the better, but 3 is the minimum. So like on the description for this video tonight, I have a bunch of hashtags at the bottom of the description, so you can see that. So yeah, see, that's what happens. No, hashtags are on YouTube too. What that does is, if you put hashtags in your video descriptions, when YouTube goes through its analytics check of your video, it sees the hashtags in the description. It'll then push your video out to those tags. So like hashtag model trains, it'll push it out to the model trains. Since I've been doing that, I've been seeing my videos get pushed out, because when you go on to YouTube, you see all the videos coming up, and I see my videos now showing up in there, which I never ever saw before. So I've been watching this guy who does videos, and he's got 3 channels, and he has over 100,000 on all 3 of his channels, subscribers, and he's teaching people how to increase your subscription, increase your watch hours, stuff like that. And one of the things he said was, don't put hashtags in your titles, they belong in the descriptions. So Dwight, if you're still out here, I saw one of your videos the other day that had a hashtag in the title. That's not helping you at all. Just remember, put it in the description of your video. It's a lot better for you. It helps you push out to other another audience. So well, it's not going to help you, Munnsville, in the title at all. It's not going to help you. You can put them there, and also your titles should be limited to only 55 characters. Okay? If you make your titles longer than 55 characters, what's going to happen is people watch videos on their smart devices. They don't watch them on a computer screen. Mostly on their devices. And 55 characters is what you're going to be able to see on the screen. So if you start putting your title on there and then add hashtags to the game, like I had hashtags on the title, they were off the screen. You couldn't see them. So they give you no advantage putting the hashtags in the title. You can put them there. Maybe your title is only 3 words, but you should be putting keywords in your title. And keywords are like hashtags. Like, for example, layout update. That's a hashtag. Like if you go into your video and you go down to keywords in the video, you'll see and you type in hashtag layout, it'll pop up. It's already out there. Somebody already created that hashtag. Model trains, rail fanning. I told you, I had on my one show. Good night, Randall. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I showed you that website, and I even put it in my description afterwards, how to create the keywords. I don't recall the name of the channel right now, but anybody wants it, you can email me. I've got to send you a link. Just let me know one way or the other. Yeah, well, see, I'm working on that too, Bob. I'm working on a intro video and an outro video. Because on StreamYard, you can set up the intro video and then that'll play before your video starts. So I'm going to do that. Once I get the video of the subway system running and see how that looks, then I'll make that my intro video. And then I'll create an outro video. That's what I'm doing. Well, Bob, the analytics, YouTube analytics analyzes your video. The other thing I do now that I never used to do was I used to just post a video immediately. I wait 24 hours. I mark it as unlisted in YouTube Studio. It shows up as unlisted. And I set those defaults up so whenever I upload a video, it's automatically unlisted. Then I can go in and manipulate it, set up end screens, and do all that kind of stuff while it's unlisted. And then what happens is YouTube analyzes your unlisted videos and preps it for analytics. And then it'll say, okay, if you have all these tags in there, hey, Dave, welcome, DB Tech. And it all will then know who to disperse what your audience is. So that's the things that I've been watching and trying and everything and seeing how it works. So, but I've noticed some slight changes. I know it isn't going to be overnight, but some of these guys say get one video out there and you'll get 4,000 hours in this with one video. So, I mean, I don't create videos for current events and stuff like that. I create videos about model trains, and you know, that's all. We have a great community here, and everybody can watch everybody's videos and stuff like that. But other people, you know, if I wanted to build up my watch hours, I'd have to create one like Trump versus Obama or Trump versus Biden or something like that. And then I would probably get 1 million hits and stuff like that. But I'm not interested in doing that kind of video. And so I'll just keep on plugging along with my model trains and going from there. Oh, see that black thing on the floor? That's my dog Harley. He comes in here and waits for me to do things with him. So he's just laying there waiting for the thing to go. Sounds good, James. Yeah, 897. Well, I'm at 522. So I'm not worried about the subscribers. I'm worried about watch hours. I got lifetime. I have over 4,000 watch hours, like 4,200 plus. That's lifetime. But this past year, I'm at 1,400 and something, and I need 3,000. Yeah. So yeah, he's a black lab, Bob. 5 years old this year. So he's still a puppy too. And labs are puppies until they're about 8 years old or so. Then they start calming down. Yeah. I don't know, Dwight. So All right, guys. Well, I appreciate. I'm at around 425, but watch hours are low. Yeah, watch hours are a tough thing to get when you're starting out. Um, and getting views and all that. Like I put out a couple shorts and I got, you know, 50 views or 60 views. I put out another short and it does 2,000 views. So it's all in the title, I guess. So the other thing the guy said was, "Hey Derek, welcome." The other thing he said was, uh, before you do a video, write down a title. Don't do the video and try to create a title for your video. Create the title and then do the video. So that's what I've been trying to do now too. And I use Chat GPT to create the title names and the descriptions. And that is a lot better now. It makes it easier than typing it all out and stuff. So let Chat GPT do that stuff. No, I'm not planning on making money either, James. I just want to reach certain plateaus. It's a personal thing. It's not. I'm not going to get 1 million subscribers and make $100,000 a day on YouTube. That wasn't my goal. My goal is to reach certain plateaus. Plateau 1 was to get to 100 subscribers. Plateau 2 is to get to 500 subscribers. Plateau 3 is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And you get the watch hours. To, you know, get the watch hours. Well, you don't need the watch hours if you can get, I don't know, 10 million views on shorts. That I get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views on shorts, but not millions. That's, you know, I don't have a girl in a bikini sitting behind me getting me a lot of views. So that isn't going to work. Me and my dog Harley are not going to get that. Yeah, that's a key, Dave, and getting them to stay to the end. And if they look at your chat or your comments, that adds to your watch hours too. So while you're scrolling through the chat to see, and there's certain things you can put in the chat too. I haven't been doing that. I did it one video, and I got one person that responded to my comment, and so I got to start doing that more regularly. I keep forgetting to do that one little thing. There's so many little things you can tweak in your videos to get them to be viewed more and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting for a few supplies to come in so I can get things finished and operational, and then we'll go from there. So I'll put out a couple of videos showing those things working again and see how it goes. So, but like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. And thanks for stopping in to spend some time with me. So I hope everybody has a good week, what's left of it, and hope to see you all again soon. And I'll do some video of the train show I'm at. If I see anybody there, just look me up and say hello. We'll see you all later. Everybody have a good night. Take care. This is Tom. We're signing off. Have a good night. Catch you all later.